Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the wild beyond the Witchlight, Part 12, The Getaway Gang. Today is April 3rd, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we have an after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community, being hosted over at our Patreon. Now, you first thought Patreon, but you just said it was free. That's right. All of our after shows are currently being made public. It's just being hosted at Patreon. And if you decide that you want to leave us a tip or help us pay off our bills every month, you can again go to patreon.com/indooradventures. The link is in the Twitch chat to the side, but you want to know what else is in the Twitch chat to the side? A link to our Discord, which you can also find in the description of this video or audio cast down below. That link will then get you access to our Discord server with a bunch of different channels, including our questions for the court. So that is the easiest way if you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, what's the deal with the wild beyond the Witchlight? If you have any kind of specific question, feel free to join us in our Questions for the Courts chat, and we will do our best to respond in kind. But let's say that you already support us on Twitch, you already support us on YouTube and Patreon and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, normally you'd be able to go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That's indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But for the foreseeable future, all of the proceeds from our merch sales are actually going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, you can go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, because we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and most importantly, a thing that I have misplaced on my desk more times than I would like to admit, we have masks for sale in a variety of styles and kinds. And when I say styles, I mean they all have the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201. Oh, hey, I found it. The symbol of Tiamat upon them. We like to call them Tiamasks, where you can, again, help support Doctors Without Borders by any of those merch sales. So feel free to, again, go to indooradventure.redbubble.com if you want to help support a good cause. But that is it for my opening spiel. So, hey, RJ, who you playing today?
Hello. Hey, I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Vice, the Tiefling Rogue.
I was muted in two places. Hey everybody, I'm Sarah. I will be playing Lowry Moon, our Hexblood Spore Druid.
And I am Mediaflare. I'm going to be playing Pamferdam, the Gnome Artificer.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae. I'm going to be playing as Clout, the Tiefling Bard.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and I'm adjusting our layout here just a little bit. There we go.
Scoochy.
Just a little scoochy, and I will be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, you all had made your way into the primordial forests of Thither, a land far different and honestly far better than when you were in Hither, which was more of like a swampy muck land. It was a bad time. This place is proving to be a little bit of a better place, primarily. Shows that you guys are quieter according to chat. Let me fix that because I adjusted it back when I was having some display things. So we have that taken care of. Fingies crossed. Here's hoping. We're professionals here. So you guys made your way to this primordial forest with Clapperclaw's help, riding on your swamp gas balloon. It was at this point that Clapperclaw claimed that they knew of a helpful individual, an old blind man named Nib, that was willing to provide all sorts of goodies to you and your party. And in exchange, all they had to do was just like talk to this old guy. However, it was at this point that Clout and Vice realized that they had a history with Old Man Nib, as they remembered him back in Waterdeep as Nib the Evictor, a landlord of sorts, the scum of the earth, a real bad boy. But Nib no longer felt good about the things that he was doing, and as such had actually gotten into contact with Scabatha Nightshade to effectively curse himself, to put himself into a cave in the Feywild, where he uses his ill-begotten gains to actually spin them into mystical, magical items that he is then able to gift to the party. Reluctantly, Vice and Clout accepted these gifts as this individual asked for a bit of forgiveness from the two of them. And it was at that point that Clout actually saw Nibs, who currently had an air of face blindness about them. We've been describing it as like, it looks like when you scribble out a lottery scratch ticket, how it's just sort of like scribbly back and forth over this old man's face. As soon as Clout, you forgive this individual, that lifts. You have then such received your gift, and I believe that the lot of you were then exiting out of this cave, having successfully gained a set of brand new sparkly items, as well as a little bit of information about who this Will of the Wood character is. So that is where we are going to be picking up today, is that the four of you are exiting out of Nib's cave, and they have given you a general direction for where you could find the Getaway Gang. See,
Hey,
I told
so-
you, he was like super helpful.
Yeah, I mean, they gave you some pretty cool stuff, so that's something. Vice and Clout, you two both seem to know that person. Were you neighbors at some point?
Say that.
Evidently.
Does that mean I missed a step? Did that mean that you both lived in the Feywild, or you both lived in the material plane together?
Material. What's with the line of questioning, Pam?
I suppose it is a line because it's two questions in a row, thus making a line. But it's not really like an interrogation or anything, if that's what you're asking.
You remember that thing on the roof about being nicer and friendlier?
We had a history with the man in the cave, that's all.
So do you think we should go find that, Will of the Wood person?
If he's a thorn in... Oh lord, what's her name? Scabatha's side. Maybe we can ally ourselves with him. Might have some plans going down.
Probably not a bad idea.
They told us that they lived in an oak tree and like 8 miles away from here. Did they give us a direction? Like a cardinal direction to travel?
Wait,
North.
Sometimes I miss out on details. An oak tree ant?
Yeah, Alright. It sounds like we might have to deal with another conversation with a sentient tree clout, so...
Maybe be nice. Although there shouldn't be any pixies this time. Well, hopefully not.
if anybody's like picking on you, just don't let them get to you.
Trees in this forest that aren't alive?
Well,
Well,
I mean,
they
trees
technically
are
all
alive.
are alive.
yeah, they're all of. I mean, I could like go and try and talk to some
I
and see like
immediately
if there are any
regret
dead
my
ones.
You just
Look,
got
just-
actually'd by the entire party.
Just assume that if there are trees, you are not alone, ever.
There's a spider always 8 feet away from you, apparently.
Very comforting. Thank you.
Oh, it wasn't meant to be, but you're welcome anyways.
Does any of us know how to speak to trees? Like, this is tree. Okay, oh, good.
Turns to Lowry.
I had to double check because I know fungi and plants are part of a different family branch, so didn't know how the rules worked.
Do you want me to go talk to one right now?
Do you know where the tree ant? I mean, we can go find the tree ant. Do tree ants speak the same language as trees? There's a lot of unknowns for me in this place.
Dude, can I roll to see if trees speak the same as normal trees?
Lowry, make either a nature or an arcana check.
Let's go with nature. Off to a good start. That's a 13.
Okay, so with the 13, treants generally will either speak Sylvan, sometimes Druidic. A lot of instances they speak Common, such as the treant that was employed at the Witchlight Carnival that spoke Common to the lot of you.
Well, you see, treants are rather like their surroundings, so they're going to speak the local language. I mean, the one at the Witchlight Carnival that we met spoke Common, and I mean, they can speak a whole slew of languages. Most of them are multilingual. It's very cool. They're very good conversationalists.
That is neat. Does that mean trees also can speak a lot of languages, or can trees only speak tree?
Oh, they only speak tree.
I'd assume they'd be good at languages. They'd get to the root of the word pretty fast.
Vice, when you say this, you see like a small, there is like a wave of light green energy that seems to emit from you as flowers begin to sort of sparkle and glow.
Ah, what the fuck?
Oh, that's nice. How'd you do that?
Be gay, do crimes, I guess?
Lowry,
doing
you can
it?
also make another arcana check if you'd like.
Ha ha ha! 15.
15. Emotions affect this place. When y'all were having a really bad time and like a giant cage of wood enveloped the house that you were in, negative emotion. Vice said a funny. He is in a good mood, surprisingly. Good things happen.
You're you're happy.
Just a dead stare as she boots him on the nose.
It's adorable that you make flowers when you're happy. All right, so we're going north?
Onward!
Come on, Happy Vice. Maybe we should
Let
just
the
call him Happy
flowers
from
lead
now
the
on.
way.
Okay.
Lowry's gonna razz him for a little bit.
Vice slowly gets grumpier and grumpier until he's flatlined back to his, like, normal.
Okay. So, as you all continue walking north, eventually you start hearing like it's almost like an operatic singing.
Oh boy.
That seems to be coming from what looks like a small clearing, roughly about, I want to say, that's strange. Seeing the note that apparently chat cannot hear RJ or Wings.
Well, let me just move my mic closer to my mouth. Maybe that could help.
Look at
I'm
that
seeing
face.
it on that, yeah. Okay, so we're good.
I'm
on
glad
that.
chat said something because I also like heard quieter versions of used to, but I also just assumed it was on my end.
It's usually just mic distance.
I'm just loud.
How's this?
Totally fair. Totally
Okay.
good. Looks like it's showing up in the bars, so we're good on that one. But the four of you here, and I say four, Clapper Claw is there too and can definitely hear all of this as he's entirely not just focused on his metallic body that he's been given. What sounds like this operatic singing coming from a small clearing. And you don't see any humanoid forms. Like nobody's like at this like small camp, but you can see what looks like a little makeshift like there's like a ring of rocks and then some metal pieces and then what looks like a small metal bar across. And it looks like the singing is coming from this small little campsite. And you just hear, la la la, oh, hey, hey, oh, da, da, butter me up, la da da.
Do you hear the people sing?
They're singing a very happy song.
It's not the song of angry men.
Well, that's good. But I don't see anyone.
And
I could sneak over there, but then I'd only be able to turn into a rabbit that once, and then I'd be done for the rest of the day.
Oh, I could take these out for a whirl, and Vice will click his heels together.
yeah, what do your boots look like? I mean, the only restriction I will give you for what the boots look like, as per the book, all items that were created by Nib do have a golden motif to them.
Oh, well, so basically he's, in like the hour, if they've taken like a quick short rest, he's peeled off the shin guards and the heel, and he's applied it to his regular boots. So now it's like this black and gold. He has a black calf-length boots with this sort of golden leaf pattern on them now.
You've got quite the gear set up now.
Mm-hmm. Should we all be a bit more quiet?
It's up to
Well,
you.
I'm not typically known for being quiet, so...
Pass without a trace.
Boy, howdy.
If you're within 30 feet of me and 10 to your stealth.
Oh!
Yeah?
Did you net 20?
38. I nat 20 twice.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
Fantastic. So, Vice, you're on a secret mission. You're enacting a secret plot while going
it's
up
like
to this.
Lowry, Pam, and Clout are talking. They turn and Vice is gone. There's just the Vice outline.
A smoky trail from your new armor.
Mm-hmm.
How does he do that?
I'd like to switch the smoke over. I think I can do that. Harmless, odorless smoke. I kind of think it looks more like mist.
Sure.
That's incredible.
Okay, so this like misty form is stealthing up, almost like a cloud, as you get to this small opening. And Clout, what you see is that there is a metal pan that is kind of like leaned up against these rocks, and there is a stick of butter inside of this pan. And rubbing its head against this stick of butter, you see a tiny, tiny creature. What you end up seeing is this. Is a small little mushroom with a face who is singing this happy song about how it just needs to butter itself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
La 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 da da he he.
I was really hoping that I didn't hear that correctly, but yeah, it did say butter me up.
Rub me in butter, then I get the good bath. It's just like, bloop, bloop, just like rubbing its cap against this butter, and then like puts its little back against it and is just doing like this little wiggle.
I really feel like I shouldn't be watching the Lowry.
Something almost lewd about it.
There's
They're so cute. Can we adopt it? Can we take it with us?
is this normal mushroom behavior?
What's going on?
It's fantastic mushroom behavior. Hi, little friend.
You frightened me. Hello, I am Campestri.
It's very nice to meet you. Are you attempting to butter and cook yourself?
What? No. I would never cook myself. My friend Clout told me that if I cover myself in butter, that he would give me a warm bath before dinner. So I'm doing what Clout says. Just covering myself in this butter.
And how exactly is this person going to be giving you a bath?
Well, I assume with the water.
I'm gonna tell
Right.
him.
I don't see a tub though.
What? Oh, he probably has a tub with him. He carries a lot of things in his big sack.
Should I tell him?
Oh, I don't know.
Tell me what?
Buddy, butter is food.
What?
Yeah.
This is not like a body wash?
No, this is more like seasoning.
What does spring, winter, summer, and fall have to do with any of this?
He's gonna
No,
cook
like-
you, dude.
No, the
Ah!
things it's seasonings, like people put them in their food to make it taste better.
Your dinner.
You might be on the menu.
No, Chloe would never do that. We've been friends for like 20 minutes.
Well,
Who is Chloe exactly?
Chloe! He's a good friend of mine.
Croa?
Yes.
Where's
Okay.
Croa right now?
Well, he said he had to go out and find a few things, and then if I got done covering myself in this lovely body wash, that when he came back, he would help give me a bath before a nice warm dinner.
Well,
Do I gotta do all this?
do all of what?
The bad news?
Yes, I am not good at delivering bad news. I do happy news.
Okay. What was your name again?
My name is Campestri.
Capestri?
Campestri. Campestri.
Campestri. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
all throughout the woods.
So this Croa?
Croa.
Croa. All right, cool. I was just checking to see if that was a part of your accent or not.
No, they have like a green skin and a long nose. They're a little shorter.
Green skin, long nose. Goblin?
I think so. If that's what
Okay.
you call them.
Right. Okay. So your friend is very clearly trying to cook you.
No, he's
this
going
is-
to give me a bath. Roll a persuasion check.
I got a 19.
Okay. A 19 just. Oh my god.
Yeah. No. This here's a frying pan, I believe.
What? No, it's like a small. Oh my.
Yeah, this looks like.
Oh no, it's like a handle and everything.
Yeah,
He
no,
said
here's
it was a handheld bath.
Here's some
Would
sea
you-
salt, pepper. Ooh, truffle oil.
What is
I think
truffle
you're making
oil?
it worse, Clout.
No, salt and the pepper. Salt kills the small friends with the shells.
Well, truffles are like a small like mushroom.
You
know what,
mean he
maybe I
was going to
shouldn't-
cover me in the blood of my relatives before he ate me?
Yeah, maybe I should stop talking.
Maybe I think yes. I think now's.
Oh no!
Do you mind if I get you out of there?
Please! And he sort of like you just see like this little mushroom like pop, 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 over to you.
Lowry's gonna scoop him out of the frying pan. You want to be clean? Is that correct?
I told I was going to get the bath.
Well, I suppose we could help you take a bath if you'd like.
That's
And
all
then put
I
you somewhere
really wanted.
safe.
Was a hot bath.
Pamferdam, do you have anything that looks like a tub or something shallow that some water can go in?
Huh?
Pamferdam never. Pamferdam was still waiting for the stealth mission to be over.
It's something that we can turn into a tub.
Pam will start to walk over.
You're like, I don't. What are you looking for a tub for?
Well, our new friend here wants to take a bath, but they're not friend was trying to cook them
Why?
for dinner.
No, but like, why would you eat your own friend?
I don't think they're really friends.
I think he lied to me.
Hmm.
Oh, look at that! I can hear you and everything. Is that you, Lowry, doing this?
No, it's not. It's not me. It's the sentient mushroom.
Hello.
It's a good greeting.
Yeah. We need a tub. That's what's. I'm confused now.
A little one.
Well, I have the alchemist jug thing that I made earlier. Is kind of tub-like. If they are not concerned with getting into a gravy train.
There's going to be a gravy?
No, there's gonna be water. Let's do some water. Can it make warm water?
Well, I've never tried like controlling the temperature. Usually, you just think of the matter inside of it.
And I'll kind of Pamferdam will like focus on it and be like,
Water, hot, Earl Grey.
Oh no, it's food again.
Clout, Vice, do you have any heating magic?
What? Just because we're tieflings, you think that we can make fire?
Who's Vice? Vice is a 38 on stealth. He's gone.
Yeah, she's saying it to like a bush.
Yeah.
Just hoping
What, you-
for the best.
shaking the bush.
Yeah. No. Just what? Just because
No.
we're tieflings, you think we can make fire?
No, but you can
I
both
mean,
do.
you'd be exactly right. He pulls out a knife, and he'll cast Searing Smite on it and just dump the knife into the water.
As Lowry's talking to the bush, next to the bush is a tree, and Vice's head pokes down from a branch. Very close.
We tried.
Okay, we got this little hot tub made up for you.
Does anyone have soap?
I do.
Can I have a little bit?
I haven't carried soap in a while. I learned prestidigitation when I was 13 and kind of just went with that since.
It's a bar of lavender soap handed to Lowry.
Nice.
Mushroom goes in the bathwater.
Oh,
Scrub,
this
scrub,
is a
scrub.
pretty warm water.
Hopefully not too warm. Right, Clout?
Perfect for me.
Right, but you're not a mushroom.
Yeah, good point.
Are we looking at a boiled portobello now?
Thankfully, it was not that hot. This is more like you'd leave it in there for a while. It'd probably absorb some of it, but he's not going to be boiled. Thankfully.
Okay.
And as
Lowry- Lowry will give him a quick bath.
as you're soaping him up, you just hear, "Oh, this soap tastes terrible. The other soap tastes way better."
Soap is, you're not supposed to eat the soap.
Yeah, only if you make a bad words.
Yeah.
And as you guys are giving a mushroom a bath, you just hear from the woods, and coming through the brush, you see what looks like a goblin holding some firewood underneath his arm, just. And he sort of
Hello.
like looks at the five of you, Clapper Claw included. And just, oh, good. You're already giving him a little bit of a bath. That's good. That's what I said that I was gonna do. So,
Right. After he covered himself in butter,
that was soap.
that was not soap.
Oh, that's, hey.
You have shea butter.
It's a kind of soap. You lather things with it. Can I help you here? Yeah, you were going to eat me! No, I wasn't gonna eat you. At all, no. No,
I would
come
like-
on. Come on, Campestry. Would
I would like to-
lie to you?
I'd like to vibe check the goblin.
Oh, yeah. Make an insight check, and anybody who would like to can roll an insight check on this goblin.
I rolled an 8.
Where's my skills? I have one of those. Pamferdam's got a 13.
Wes got a 17.
Okay. Lowry, you haven't met many goblins. Maybe this goblin wasn't trying to eat. Maybe this goblin legitimately believes that butter is a soap. Pam, I mean, I get, like, butter is close to the shape of a soap, but, like, this dude, no, I don't trust that guy. Vice, because this dude rolled really high on a deception check, you're the only one who actually is able to suss out, like, no, that dude's totally gonna eat this mushroom. And he's like trying to just like, hey, come on, like, I don't know. But like firewood, the seasonings, like all of the pieces of the puzzle are lining up here. Like this is like Sherlock Holmes' mind palace, but it's just like butter, mushroom, salt and pepper, a fork, like
Boomerang.
yeah.
Candelabra in the kitchen. Well, sorry to disturb your friend time bathing.
Friend bathing time. That's what that was.
Friend bathing time. May I
You're
offer
doing
you
that
an
all wrong.
alternative?
I got
How
like
about-
really bad tummy grumbles, so like, what's the alternative here?
Vice flips down from the tree, rustles in his sack from like some trail rations, or like rationed out meals. Give me a second.
Also, just for future reference, butter is more like a lubricant than an antibacterial, so it's kind of not exactly helping you out the way you think it is.
I tell you, you should not use butter as a lubricant.
I will be sure to keep all of this information in mind. Now, I mean, no, you're never going to touch me again. No, no touch.
Is
What
there
is
some...
your name? Hey, the little Kempestry looks up towards you, Lowry.
You may call me Janet.
Janet is my new best friend now. Clout.
Is there somewhere we can deposit you? Maybe a mushroom colony nearby? Or do you have anyone that you normally stay with?
Or do you know like a dead body?
A dead
Oh yeah, a
body.
dead body would be great.
That's
Very nutritious.
what? No, I have never eaten a dead body. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, you
I
should
think
try
you
it
might have.
sometime.
You just didn't know.
This small talking mushroom for sure has eaten a dead body before.
Oh, okay. Is this a small talking mushroom, or is this a small talking mushroom?
This is a
Okay.
little column A, little column B. What about the weather we're having, huh?
Oh god, no.
No, so yeah, yeah, the Kempestry says not bad. Kempestry says, well, I mean, you could take me to one of the crossings. Leave me there with the other Kempestry.
One of the crossings.
Yeah. They're all throughout here. There used to be more, but now not so much.
Oh, like the circles to get to and from. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
Fine
are
one.
familiar.
Yes, very much so. Big fan.
That's all you got to do. It's just like taking me to one of those and call it good, but make sure it's one of the good ones, not one of the bad ones.
Well, can you help show us which one is which?
Yeah, should I be able to? It's been a little bit. I don't know if it's still there. And when he says this, Croa, you see just like kind of like bites their lower lip a little bit.
Oh no.
And like looks in a different direction.
We all see this?
Oh yeah, he's not subtle about it. It looks like he's used to lying to small mushrooms and not people.
What did you do?
I don't know what you're talking about. What did I do? I gave a lot of baths. Like a lot of baths. I'm perfecting my bubble bath recipe. Is what I'm doing. And then he calls you over, Vice, when you offer him food and just, look, can I be real with you? This is like the last one out of like his little squad. They are delicious.
Aww.
Absolutely delicious.
Vice
I
has
couldn't help myself.
Vice has a bowl in his hands. In his hand, he like lowers it down. It's like a very basic fish broth ramen. I rolled an 18 on survival.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good too. It smells good.
Yeah.
Is that for me?
It's for you.
Oh,
It was
awesome. Then
the,
you, like, that guy's totally for you then. Like, free keeps on that one.
Thank you.
Super gullible. Super tasty.
If I were you, I would take this, move somewhere far into the forest, and stay hidden for like an hour or two.
Can do. You people look like you geared up to mean business. And I don't know what the hell that thing is. And he points towards Clapperclaw, who's just like this mechanical abomination. Just and he's like cutting down tree branches with a single snap of his claw. Like,
Oh, he's adopted.
yeah, it doesn't matter if he's adopted. I don't want anything to do with that. Thank you for the noodles. It smells a little fishy, but that's fine. That's fine. You know what? Again, a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt. If you have some like smoked paprika, put that right on there. Oh, it speaks.
You
in
should get
flavor.
going
Okay,
now.
as you do. Like, you see this goblin, then just like, can I get my stuff? Like my little camp.
Team meeting over here.
I'm not gonna take your boy.
Go on. So,
And I turn into a bear and eat him?
remember that whole like no killing thing, I guess?
Also, like, as poetic as that sounds, I feel like eating someone after stopping them from eating someone is kind of a bit of a butt move.
Circle of life.
Anyway, we'll set Campistry down somewhere, have a brief private meeting in hushed tones. So that goblin ate a couple of mushroom colonies. Campistry seems to be the only one left.
Colonies?
I don't
He
know.
destroyed more than one circle?
Like they're the last of their species, or they're last of their circle?
I didn't ask for specifics. I just thought to myself, maybe I should inform everyone that we might have to take the little one along.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You look over and the crow like is like looking at the campestry and like the big animated tongue licky of just like I want to eat that so bad.
Lowry's literally gonna look at him and growl.
You're like like puts one hand up, still holding the like bowl of fish ramen, like so not like.
Well, if they're the only one left, what if we just kind of like break it apart and let the fibers spread out into a new colony?
What?
That's not. I mean, if that's what they want. I mean, some do procreate that way. I mean, it might not be their time to release spores too. You know, I don't know how old they are, but I can. I can make a spot on Clapperclaw's armor of moss and twigs and stuff, and we can make a spot for them to ride along with us.
What about your hat? Or is there like too many mushrooms up there already?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, sure.
Did I break the bad news to the kid, or? All right.
It sounds like at some point we're gonna have to let a lot of kids down.
Why don't you wait? And maybe we'll just suggest that the circle might have moved or that we might have gotten lost. You know, things move around here.
Well, I'm not. Wait, is this an adult mushroom or a kid mushroom? Is that something we can tell?
Hey, Campestri,
Yes.
how old you are?
And the Campestri's eyes narrow, and they get a serious look on their face. I am as old as the plane itself. Ever since
Really?
its creation, the fibers, they stretch between hither, thither, and yon.
How old is this plane?
As old as the plane itself.
Insight check. Are they bullshitting us?
Roll an insight check.
11.
With an 11, Clout or Vice, you've heard that in some places mushrooms are connected through like fibers within the ground, and they might stretch for miles. And in a way, some mushrooms there's no real way to kill in a way that matters.
Tell me the name of God, you son of a bitch.
I'm not fucking scared of you.
And that seems to be what this Campestri is implying.
Hey, Campestri, come over here.
Oh, yes, okay. And like, and it like hops on its little toadstool bottom.
Clout's going to get out his disguise kit and find one of the spots on top of his little mushroom head. And he's going to smear some makeup on there to turn it into a skull.
I am dangerous now.
Yeah, you should tell people that you're poisonous or whatever.
But that would be a lie.
It'll keep you alive. That's what lie means.
Lie?
It puts
That's
the
why
lie
it is in the
in
word
alive.
alive. Yes, sir. I understand now.
Vice is visibly taken aback by this. Huh.
What?
Nothing.
Am I beautiful now?
Campestri, you were always beautiful.
Oh, you.
Clout will scoop him up and hold him out towards Lowry.
Thanks.
I am dangerous now.
You are. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We'll get you a tiny sword and everything.
Okay, maybe not a sword.
I would love a sword.
I'll figure something out.
Don't really trust him not to like fall on it or something.
Would be a very important lesson now, wouldn't it?
That is
Can't-
true.
Yeah, can't argue with that. All right, you guys ready to go?
Lowry's gonna druid craft some moss, and make a little, I don't know, on like Clapperclaw's shoulder.
We're gonna be collecting NPCs like Pokemon. Let's do
Yep.
this.
We're just gonna fuse them together into one child. One massive child.
There's Octavian gonna sit on the Clapperclaw machine. Yoda? Yes.
He needs his heart back, right? What if we just put that inside of Clapperclaw?
Dear God.
All right, so, and this goblin who is now like mostly eated the bowl. Just big slurp of noodle. And he kind of looks at all of you and just, so here's your bowl bet.
Thank you. By the by,
What is
Do
it?
you know anything about the hag who rules these parts?
Oh, Scabatha. Yeah. That lady's weird. She is a strange, strange creature. But if you go to Lone Lurch, there's like this, like a market that just like sells a buku amount of candy. Like if you got a sweet tooth, that's the place to go. Tell you what. But I will admit, like it's like candy and toys and like other things that like generally like kid, like a bunch of kids stuff, you know. Like I haven't been a kid in like 2 years, so you know it's like, ugh, yeah, bleh, not for me. You know, my palate is evolving, learning all
Really?
sorts of things. But like, the toy shop that she got there, it's like all run by like kids. Like all the toys made by kids. All the people selling toys, they're kids. So if you're ever looking for toys for cheap, kids do not know how to barter. Tell you that much, but they do. They are very set in their ways as far as pricing goes. So again, as far as like my dealings with Scabatha, I try not to get involved. I'm just going about my day, you know, trying to find my next meal.
Right. Well, thank you for the information, Croa. Pray our paths never cross again.
Well, I don't know. You guys seem nice. And if you ever look into, you know,
Nope. Nope.
just a little nibble,
Nope.
paprika. Nods.
Lowry's
wait a
just
second.
giving him the stink eye.
Wait a second, I want to talk to you.
Okay.
Clout walks over to him, reaches into his bag, sort of looming over him ominously, and he pulls something out, and he says, "So this is soap. What you had there was butter. Like this is actual soap. Like, you know, like smell it, taste it. It tastes bad, right? This is what actual soap is."
And he'll take it and just. Yeah, it tastes pretty awful.
Yep.
I'll.
So don't fuck that up again, okay? You can keep that. I don't. Yeah, I don't want it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Tell you what, you can have. Actually, I do need my other soap back. It's for a thing.
Can you believe this guy didn't know what soap was?
This Croa is just like getting like metal rods, their frying pan, obviously their butter, like getting it all stored away and then like onto a pack.
Weiss is debating with himself if Cloud has always been this stupid or has he just been ignorant and ignored it.
Does Clout really think that goblin didn't know the difference between butter and soap?
You know,
The goblin is leaving.
probably yes.
It's a tragic mistake, but you shouldn't let food go to waste, right? Anyway,
Lone Lurch is a town, apparently.
Clout, it's such a good thing that you have large biceps. Let's go.
Dang, you're pretty.
You said long lurch or log lurch?
Loam
Lurch.
Lurch.
Loam,
loam, like
like LOAM?
yeah,
Loam, yes. Like the clay.
like the plants.
Is Loam Market in the direction we're going?
Shrug.
And
ask Will
when
that
you
on the
ask
way.
that, Clapperclaw rattles a little bit and just, that's where Granny Nightshade lives.
Oh yeah, Clapperclaw knows where we're going.
Uh-huh.
Do you know where the Little Oak is?
It moves a little bit, but I could probably find it.
It moves.
It's in a living tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember when
no,
that one tree got up and beat you up that one time?
I honestly
It's like that. Except we're not going to pick a fight with it.
don't remember a lot of that event. No.
Honestly, Clout doesn't remember a lot of things.
Would you like us to describe it to you?
No, thank you.
I took notes.
Clapperclaw rests a large lobstery claw on your shoulder. That's okay. I don't remember a lot of things either. Rattle, 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 rattle.
All
It's
right.
Clapper Claw.
So I guess we're back on the trail until we find that tree.
Mm-hmm.
Tree ant. I gotta make sure I keep that separated in my brain.
Could you imagine if it's just a giant ant with a tree on its abdomen? We've been thinking tree ant this entire time, but it's tree ant. Vice says as he walks and talks.
What if it's like my mom's sister, but it's a tree? It's a tree ant.
I mean, basically, this place kind of has its own set of rules, so it could be.
Or we're
what?
mispronouncing it entirely, and it's a trio of ants.
Or it's just some guy named Trent. Yeah, so anyway, this is a long walk, isn't it?
It is.
It's such a long walk. Oh,
So-
Pamferdam, I have never been so happy.
Flowers start sprouting.
So, as you guys continue northward, following Clapperclaw's direction, you hear what sounds like a small collective of braying goats. Just and what sounds like a thudding noise that seems to coincide with the braying of these goats.
Or are we just going to walk by this?
I mean, there might be someone tending the goats who knows where we need to go or knows about the tree.
How many miles have we been walking so far?
At this
I haven't
point,
really been, like, tracking my pace.
At this point, you're at like 2-3 miles.
My best guess would be like 2 to 3 miles, but I'm not entirely sure.
I think that sounds about right. RJ, you're muted.
What?
There you go.
Oh, sorry. I snorted and said Pamometer.
Well, I mean, we stopped for a singing mushroom, and I think that technically worked out in the long run, because an awkward murder didn't happen, so might as well see if the goats are in a buttery situation, too.
What if they are going to be our friends? Then you can draw a skull on them as well, so no one knows to mess with the goats.
Honestly, I think most people
That's
know not
true.
to mess with ghosts, because they're just pretty heckin' strong in their head.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is how gangs are started.
We shall be the skull and the mushroom gang.
I knew one once named Thorny Boy. He was a pain in the butt.
Thorny boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
You're thinking of a skull and mushroom motif. Why not just call ourselves the Death Caps?
I like that.
I'm not
Keep
wearing
work-
the right hat for that.
Keep workshopping it. Clout's gonna go and look at those goats.
Okay. So, as you go towards the sound of the braying goats, you see a gigantic gnarled oak that comes into view. Unlike other oaks in the forest, this tree looks unhealthy and has golden brown leaves. A thick carpet of dead leaves surround it, and 3 rusty sickles lie amongst the leaves. Standing next to each of these weapons is a bleeding goat, one of which is turned around and actually using its back legs to kick at the base of this large tree. Inside, or amongst the tree itself, you see that there are 8 tiny houses made of woven twigs that are nestled amongst the boughs of the tree, with squirrels darting nervously around these wee domiciles.
Oh,
Ah! Goat kicks again. Just, meh. Another one kicks the tree.
well,
If this is like a rising up against the landlords type of situation, I don't think we should interfere.
Yeah, no,
Unless it's a forceful eviction, and then in that case, we definitely need to interfere.
there's things living in that tree. I'm having a bad feeling about it. Too familiar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, goats, do you speak common?
And one of the goats like turns its head towards you.
Hi.
Goat begins sauntering up to you.
Don't touch the top of its head.
I wasn't going to. Ram, you goats be true. I don't speak goat.
What? You don't speak goat?
No,
You
I
speak-
speak plant.
You
Clout.
speak plant, but you can't speak goat.
No,
Well, that's okay.
it's a different.
Clout. That's
What?
what the guitar's for. Or sorry, the Irish guitar.
Fantasy Ireland.
The veal?
I already forgot its fucking name. The Falkland. Fall.
The magic instrument of the bards.
Clout has personally named this specific veal Repentance.
I just want to point out that as Pam, when you're trying to pronounce the word of it, Google CC is censoring it because it thinks you're saying swear.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's the Fakluchen Bandor. It's close to a lute, but like with 27 strings.
Yeah, it's the fuck looking Pandor. Amazing. Yeah, so these goats are looking at you.
Okay. Clout's gonna pick it up and
As you go
Is there-
to start playing it, you hear, "No, don't!" And you see 3 little flying creatures from the tree emerge and sail out, and they look like 3 tiny little peoples with wings.
oh god, it's pixies. Okay, all right.
No, don't kill them, please. Do not attack the goats. We worked really hard to get them to be goats. We only have like 10-ish more minutes left of them being goats. So like, don't attack them,
Okay.
please.
Dude,
Why?
dude, chill.
What language are they speaking?
They are speaking common.
Okay.
Oh,
Why do
okay,
you want
cool.
them to be goats?
These are red caps that have been attacking our tree, that are attacking the good grandfather. They're trying to chop it down so that way they can stomp on our homes.
You said they're red caps. Is that like a mushroom?
And you
We
see
met a
the
mushroom
goat just
recently.
like, the goat like shakes its head in disbelief, like, and the other goats like also like roll their shoulders a little bit, like, we're not red caps, like.
Is it conceivable that Clout knows what a red cap is?
Make an
Having worked
Arcana
at the
check.
At the Witchlight Carnival? I got an 18.
An 18. So you have heard of red caps before, which is good. They are malaligned fae with an insatiable bloodlust. All they want to do is murder, and then the things that they murder, they like soaking their red caps in, and then that rejuvenates them. They are also known for having steel boots, which they use to stomp. They like to stomp.
Oof. Red caps can be big trouble.
Yes, that's what we've been trying to say. So please, do
Ow.
not.
All right. I wasn't gonna attack them. I was just gonna try and talk to them.
Okay, we saw you like reaching for something, and one of us thought like, Zinnia thought that you were like grabbing a weapon.
It's a veal.
Zinnia, and like you see a small little like sprite, like they look a little older, like large glasses that magnify their little eyes so that way they fill it. If you've seen Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys, imagine that, but as a small elderly woman who's a pixie, one of these sprites. Or no, it's a pixie, and they just, there's a lot of us that live here, and this is kind of all that we have going.
Okay.
Goats are just like,
Um.
and one of them like kicks the tree again.
Hey,
All right.
I mean, still, like, even as goats, that can't be good for your tree. Look at it.
They just sort of like get a little sad looking. We know.
Does
Yeah,
your
like-
tree move?
It used to. But grandfather's been tired
Hmm.
ever since the hags took over. He hasn't been able to move as much. Then in the last 10 days or so, he's just said that this was going to be his final resting place.
I'd like to go over and inspect the tree.
Yeah.
Nature or medicine?
Roll.
See what's wrong with it.
Yeah. Depends. What would you like to roll for it? Either would work in this situation.
I'll do medicine.
Okay.
while Lowry's doing this, Vice is keeping a mental clock of 10 minutes.
Okay.
13.
13. This tree is a treant, and not just a guy named Trent that houses a bunch of small houses and squirrels and things like that built into them. You have never seen a treant this sick before, and it looks like there is a rot that is coming from the base. Like from the roots themselves, it seems as though this tree is becoming more rotted.
It looks pretty sick. I can try and pump some healing magic into it, but I don't know if that'll work.
Okay. And Lowry, as you go to attempt to heal the tree, does a 12 hit you?
It meets, so it beats.
Okay, as you go to heal, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as this goat kicks you.
Ow!
Ah!
How many goats are there?
3.
All right, I'm gonna go grab that goat that kicked her.
Okay. Just, and it's like trying to like headbutt you as well. So when you go to grab it, make a grapple check.
That's a 16.
A 16. Okay. Contested. Yeah, you grab this goat, and I imagine it's just like you pick it up by the horns and lift it, and it's just like
Just gonna put it.
Thanks.
I'm just gonna put it under my arm and like point at the rest of them, like, don't cause any trouble.
Clout. Does a 21 hit you?
Totally.
But trouble were caused.
You take 3 points of damage as this goat bites the shit out of you.
Fucking ow. And keep a hold of him.
And the others, like, the 2 others begin to approach you.
Make
Are we
this
about
quick,
to fight
Lowry.
a pack of goats? Mushroom goats or whatever they are?
Okay, so Lowry's gonna do a. You know what? Let's use it up. She's gonna use a second level healing word. For 5 points healing
Okay.
towards this tree.
Sure. The tree takes it. And you see some of the dents and divots that these goats have been kicking into it begin to heal back a little bit. As a goat, like, tries to charge you, but misses.
All right. She's gonna go for. Okay, so that's all my second level. So we're gonna go for a first level slot. Another healing word for 3 more points of healing.
Okay.
Can I cast levitate on one of these goats?
Sure can.
That's my veal lets me do that.
Okay.
It needs to make a con save though.
It got a 17.
Well, that beats it.
And as they are doing this, one of the pixies goes up to you, Vice, and says, "They're weapons. If they don't have their weapons, they can't do anything if they change back. They might try and kick you, but they won't be able to cut you."
Vice walks up to the rusted sickles, gathers them up.
And like when you do the one that Clout is currently grappling, just and starts like going even harder, trying to get out of this.
He will walk away from the grandfather tree, throw them into the air, and then just release a force blast into them.
Oh, shit.
Blom.
Yeah, they are inanimate objects, so what does the force blast do?
It's a damage roll from me.
Okay.
Where is it? Breath weapon force. I deal 8 points of force damage to the sickles.
The sickles, I would say, break in various forms, and each of the ghosts just like stops and just like all of their like two of the mouths drop, and then the third one drops and just like blood curdling scream seems to come from this goat.
Vice wheels around and licks his lower lip and stares at the goats.
And you can see that like some of them and the pixies are just like, wow! And there's like there's a good like 24 pixies on this tree that are all like, wow, wow, that are all clapping for you, Vice.
He'll do the same to you, he says, pointing at the goats. And then he points at himself and says pineapple, healing word.
Okay. How do I think the tree's looking at this point?
The tree is looking, there's still that rot that exists within it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look up at this tree, being closer now, you can see that there was actually like a large face that was in it that looks like it was like, you know when you see somebody who's like really sick with a fever and they just have that like permanent like, like I'm dying, like that face about them. This tree had that going on in the bark, and it seems like any kind of furrow that was in between its brow has relaxed a little bit. Like there was like sap coming down because tree sweat, but that seems to have lessened ever so slightly as well. But as these pixies are all cheering, and Lowry, you have healed this tree as best you can. You hear a and on the third one, Clout, there is no longer a goat in your arms, but there is a grizzled little, like, pissed off looking small man. Like,
Oh yeah, 10 minutes.
and they have like squat face, this like red nightcap, and like they are heavy because their boots are made of just iron. And they seem to almost be like in the same way that you never see Sonic the Hedgehog without shoes, and like they're for the love of God, we all hope that they're grafted on, so that way you never see them Sonic feats. Like that is the same way.
Nights in the courtyard.
Oh, yeah. Can't show that on Twitch. I'm pretty sure we'd be breaking a lot of DMCA. But yeah, so like you now have like 3 little guys, and there's hey, fuck you. Like they're just like very like
Hey, whoa, language.
Oh, they're gnomes. I
Yeah,
thought
we
they were
demonstrate our
mushrooms.
weapons. We were gonna cut you up. We were gonna stick our hats and just like have a blood party. But no, this asshole, and he points over towards Vice, had to go and break my fucking sickle. Asshole, and like, fuck you. Like they're
All right.
all just like swearing up a storm while like pointing.
All right,
at
dude,
all.
you need a timeout.
And what are you gonna do about it? Kill me?
There's
You
an-
already broke everything that I love, dick.
You can't kill me in a way that matters.
they just like try and like squiggle out of your arms from the grapple.
He's keeping a good hold on him. He's like, this guy's threatening death. This guy.
He gets a
no
24 on his check.
All right, well, you know what? I got an 18, so I guess he's gone.
They bring their feet up, and then just like kick back with their steel, like their metalled feet into your gut, which causes you to drop as they leap off and just. This isn't fun anymore. All you fucking assholes showed up and got this shit going on. Pig dicks. And like one of them like walks away, just cocksucker, 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 fuck you, and like leaves as well. And then the third one just gives you the bird, and then just
Walking away, he like reaches under his cap and pulls out a middle finger.
yeah. Just
Sure was a series of events that happened to all y'all.
they are so rude. They need better language. It's like the pixies are all just yay!
Clout walks over, sort of like rubbing his abdomen. He's all like, wow, what a bunch of dick bags. Clapper Claw, don't repeat any of those words.
Ha, pig dick.
Too late.
Clappy, listen.
Uh-huh.
Twice walks him over. Sometimes adults use words in anger.
My parents had this conversation.
I'm reiterating it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you a good boy, Clapper Claw?
I'm a very good boy.
Good boys don't use naughty words. Except in extreme anger, but only then.
Okay. But like, this one time, there was like, my dad like wasn't angry. He was really happy, and he like let out a swear. It was a F yeah.
Well, you're allowed to do that when you're older.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty old though, right?
When we no longer see you as a child.
Well, when's that gonna be? I'm a grown boy. I have this suit of armor that Pam built me.
You will always be our child in our eyes.
Okay.
Pat, pat.
Well, I promise I'll never police your language, Clapper.
Thanks.
But some cultures do find it offensive to use certain words. So I would recommend that when you go to a new place, you always look into what kind of heckin' swears you can make and which ones are going to get you into jail.
Okay.
That's actually a lot more fair. We'll go with what Pam said.
Yeah, you know what? I don't fucking care what you say.
Little mushroom.
All of you have such a dirty mouths.
That's
Like
what
the
soap's
Pam
for.
said, soap in all of your mouth now.
So, little
Sup for
pixie
you?
people, are you gonna be good now, or do you think the mushroom gnomes are gonna come back?
Well, they might come back. Sometimes they come back. Normally, we just turn them into goats, and then, well, sometimes they leave, other times they come back. They've been hurting Grandfather Tree a lot. They think it's funny. They've been trying to get us to come down for a while, and we just were like, nope, not gonna do it, because Grandfather Tree, he could move, but then Grandfather Tree stopped being able to move, and so they thought that they were gonna be able to cut him down, so they brought their sickles, but then, and they circle and like do like a big circle around Vice, and then this magic man threw him up into the air, and he shouted really loud, and he broke their sickles.
Right. Is this Little Oak?
No. Little Oak's a young boy, a young man.
Maybe calling this one Grandpa.
This is
Okay.
grandfather.
Um,
My apologies.
I can keep pumping healing magic into it for them, but I'll need to take a rest afterwards.
And one of the other pixies, like the little old woman,
I'm afraid your magics, while helpful, for now, won't cure the illness that affects Grandfather Tree.
Is there anything that can affect the illness?
We don't condone violence, but if the hag who is in charge of all of thither suddenly met with a bump in their mortal coil, perhaps it would cure the tree. He's been getting sicker and sicker ever since they took over.
It might be a bit of a crapshoot and a stopgap, but Lowry, was there a way for you to do that whole good mushroom thing, but then transplant said mushrooms near the roots of the tree so that they can give the tree nutrients?
You mean good berry?
What the fuck have I been carrying around?
I don't know. Where did you get that? Those are poisonous. Have you been eating these? They'll give you the runs.
Oh, I've been running all my life.
Hucks that into the woods. I mean, I could leave them with 10 good berries and they could give him one every day to keep him going.
Do they last multiple days?
Oh, shoot. No, 24 hours. I could pump as much healing magic into him as possible, and then as we move on, hopefully we stop the hags in time for the tree not to die.
Yeah, it seems like the only way of taking care of this besides treating the symptoms would be dealing with this hag problem.
What do I know about unicorns?
That's a hefty topic of debate. Roll an Arcana check.
Unicorns or alicorns?
Unicorns, because we heard about a pool of them, right? 15. Specifically, RJ knows they have healing magics.
So 15?
Yeah.
You do know that a unicorn's horn possesses healing magics, as you have been previously told. Unicorns aren't a very common thing, I would say. So as far as like general knowledge, it's kind of just more up to what you've heard at this point in time. So a lot of like, oh, it can heal people. Its horn is needed to fix some shit, maybe.
Maybe we can go talk with whatever unicorns are left over at the gathering spot.
Oh, you mean Wayward Pool?
Wayward Pool.
All right. I mean, that's an option. How far is that from here?
Wayward Pool is about 2 miles north.
That's on the way we need to go anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Maybe they know where this alicorn is that we're supposed to find.
We'll see what we can do, and if everything works out, you will either report back or send someone to help.
Either way, we're trying to fix all this, so I don't know that. Don't worry too much, but take care of yourselves.
And the little old pixie just,
Yeah, we will, now that you've gotten rid of those pesky redcaps. But be warned, there are far more than 3 that reside in these woods.
Lovely.
Scabatha grows them in a small garden outside of her home.
She what?
She grows them.
That does not sound sustainable.
When you say grow, like, are they her kids, or like, are they artificially created?
So
That
you
shit's-
know how
That shit's invasive.
So you know how typically when you're watering plants, you use irregular water and regular plants?
Sure.
These are irregular plants, and she uses a most irregular watering source. She uses blood.
Okay, so they're like really actually mushrooms. They just like are very convincing and looking like gnomes.
Uh, have you ever heard the story of the pod people?
No, that doesn't sound like something that exists in my
Ancient
culture.
Fey story. There was a town full of It was a small farming town full of regular-looking folk who were never up to any sort of thing until one of them noticed that in their basement there was a large pod, and then, after the pod grew to a specific height, it opened, and inside was their doppelganger. An identical them who came from the pod.
You mean to say that isn't how elves normally reproduce?
Oh, Clout.
No, they.
Oh, Clout.
This'll
Clout,
go in.
Clout, cover your ears.
Clout, where were you educated?
Yeah, I don't know how
Um,
other species work, but I came out of my mom's womb.
Have
I didn't go to
Have you-
school.
do you know how to read?
I would assume the circus taught us how to read.
I'm trying to think.
And Lowry, as you ask Clout if he knows how to read, and there is a sizable long pause at this question, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless this is grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or join us on the Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. And with that, we will return. So hopefully we'll see all of you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon.
Goodbye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We have returned from our break. It looks like this thing is not wanting to pick up, so I activated it. There it goes. Haha, I made sure that the Google worked. So, where we left off, you all had just helped save a small colony of pixies from 3 red-cap ne'er-do-wells after you picked up a new traveling companion in the form of an operatic mushroom known as a campestri. It is at that point that you were then given directions to the lake, whose name I totally remember, the Wayward Pool, which is where you were told that you would find,
Unicorn.
a unicorn who might be able to assist you in some matters here. So, is that where y'all are currently heading? Is off to the Wayward Pool, or at least towards that direction, or are you making an effort to just kind of skip by it?
I figure if it's in the same direction as us, we'd probably peek at it at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. So, as you are making your way towards the Wayward Pool, you end up crossing what looks like it's very strange. There aren't very many pathways in the Feywild. There are a lot of like animal runs, but you don't necessarily see a lot of places where carts could go, which is what makes this situation a lot stranger in that you see cart tracks. These cart tracks, however, running through what looks like a dirt path, are actually framing something. And the thing that it frames are what looks to be a set of... There are 2 sets of footprints here. One set that seems large and reptilian, and the other looks almost like there's a large pad and then 4 or about, I guess 5, all things considered. 2 little small ones on the side, and then 4 large ones that seem to be going in the same direction.
Those are fucking dragon tracks.
I'm sorry, what?
Those are fucking dragon tracks.
I told you, the thing with the big eyes and the scales. "Ah!" and you hear Clapperclaw start rattling around. Dude, let me see if I can actually. I'm gonna Foley this real quick. Ah! No, it's not metal enough. We'll get there.
In the meantime, can I determine how old the tracks are?
Yes, you can. Make a survival check.
Pew, 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 pew.
9.
Okay. So with a 9, you're not sure. You spent a lot of time in the city. Spent most of the time you were like tracking people, if you were tracking anything. And again, it was more city, like trying to suss out where folks were, not necessarily looking at like indentation in mud and that sort of thing.
Does anyone have any outdoorsy skills? They can like tell us whether or not this dragon is like in the area.
I mean, I can try and take a look. I have a +4 in survival.
Yeah,
I assist.
for sure. Roll with advantage.
Okay. That'll be a 14.
14. Let me check on that real quick. So with a 14, you're guessing that these tracks are relatively fresh. Like
I
looking
mean-
at the sides, like they haven't solidified as far as the indentations go, and the earth that this what looks like a cart has kind of tilled up as it went is still relatively fresh. Like it hasn't dried into its place just yet. It still seems like there's a little bit of give to the overall soil composition here.
I mean, they've come through here recently, but how recently? It's
You're guessing within
Recent.
at least the last couple hours.
maybe a few hours.
Do dragons eat unicorns?
I don't know.
Believe just about anything.
They might be hunting in the region or something. I mean, I've literally only ever seen the one dragon, so I really don't have any expertise here.
Rather not talk about dragons. I heard nothing non-stop about dragons from a previous associate.
Well, did they mention anything that might be useful against a dragon?
Dragon slaying weapons, staying out of its general vicinity.
Right. Well, doesn't look like we're going to be doing that. So carry on forward.
Let's stick to the tree line.
Okay. Are you going to be following this path, or are you going to be pressing forward in the direction that you were heading? Okay. Sounds good. Make a survival check for me. Whoever is leading the party. I think
Wants to
Lowry would be a
lead.
good choice, as you have the highest survival.
9.
It's the best we could have done.
Uh-huh.
So Lowry, as like seeing these tracks and hearing like the nervous rattling of Clapperclaw, all of this is kind of coming to a head, and one of like your own mushrooms are definitely feeding in, I would say, to your own insecurities in this. In that one of them is kind of doing that, like, oh, look who's playing it leader. Now that you're the one who's in charge of being in front of the party, and I feel like it's one of those things that's very difficult not to get a little sidetracked by that. Having these own internalized conversations when you also are now in charge of a total of 6 individuals. You have a small mushroom who won't stop singing, Clapperclaw, who's always got this like childlike laughter inside of this weird wood mech, Vice and Clout are probably bickering amongst themselves, as they are wont to do. And Pam is just, beat Pam. He's just having a good time. Here for it. And Lowry, all of this is culminating into so much noise all the time. Like, it's almost like a sensory overload, and then cutting through that like a knife. You hear...
What's that?
And you all
Does
hear
anyone
this
else hear that?
sound.
Oh, I can't believe that you pour the milk in before the cereal, Clout. That's not a... It's what?
That.
Fuck is that?
Sounds
I
like a
don't know.
bird.
Can
Is
I
that the-
make a nature check or something?
Yeah, make a nature check.
Okay. I got a 9.
A 9?
I don't think
Doesn't-
it's possible to roll higher than a 10 today.
No, this doesn't sound like any fucking bird you've ever heard of.
The rolls this party gets is just.
Except for when it comes to stealth.
Sounds like a person trying to sound like a bird. Sometimes, like if there's thieves guild around, they'll do that as like a signal. We might be about to get robbed. Keep your eyes out.
I'm gonna search through my repository of thieves' cant.
No fucking self-respecting thief would make that sound. That would be like being in Eastern Europe and making a turkey call as like you're like, yes, this will clearly go by undetected in a place where there are no fucking turkeys.
Look up here.
Stab the small one.
However, Vice, you can roll an insight check.
Okay. 19?
Whatever it is that is making this sound, it sounds sad.
A sound that I'm used to. Finally.
Violence.
Sadness, but no, it sounds like they're sad.
I mean, we could check it out.
Hello?
I don't know. That just seems to be the flavor of the day, apparently, is just hearing things and then checking it out.
All right. Well, everybody stay close.
Hello?
And as your group gets closer and closer to the sound of this noise, to the source, not the sound of noise. That's very redundant, but that's okay. That's what copy is doing, coursing through me. What you end up seeing is a large feathered creature on 4 legs that has the face of an owl and is about the size of a bear. I wonder what that could be. That seems to be yoked to what looks like a very resplendent chariot, and it looks a little something like this.
It's a pangolin! It's an owlbear.
It's a baby.
And it is sort of like just sitting on its sitting on its big owlbear buns, just
We release it.
I wouldn't recommend being nearby if we released it.
Are you kidding? Owlbears are crazy dangerous.
They're like owls and cats combined.
Look at them.
The size of a bear.
They're so sad.
Yeah, well, like,
Owlbears are not.
what if we like mage hand from a distance, so once it's freed, it can like wander into the woods and not pick me up along the way.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I
how
think
they
owlbears
get
are
you.
native here.
They just look sad.
You'd just
And
be
cuddly.
introducing an
No, like, it's
invasive
just sort of like-
species.
You just see it sort of like looking, like it's sitting, and then its head is doing the swivel thing that an owl does. It's just and swivels another direction.
Also, it looks like it belongs to somebody, or used to. I don't see anyone nearby.
Yeah, whose chariot is this?
Do the tracks that we were following coincide with where this chariot has ended up?
They do. If you followed the tracks, if you like go back to where, because you can see that like this is not on a beaten path. This owlbear who is sitting sadly in front of this small coach, or this chariot-looking thing, not a coach. That would imply something very different. Is like if you follow back to where you think that it came from and like kind of look at where it is, you can see that there is a dirt path that extends forward, and those claws, the more reptilian styled claws, they seem to progress forward and then they are gone. And the cart tracks leading up veer suddenly. But you don't find a body. Like there's no rider associated with it.
Ooh.
And this
looks
owlbear again, sitting very sadly.
Wings could put 2 and 2 together.
It looks like whoever was in this was associated with the tracks that we saw on the road, and this fella veered off at some point, and the tracks for the other traveler stopped. I'm gonna go pet it. Lowry's gonna approach the owlbear.
Okay. And the owlbear, as you come in, just and like kind of tilts its head a little bit, and then
Hi,
like
buddy.
you see it like rustles up onto all 4 legs as you get close. Make an animal handling check.
Oh god, I'm gonna have to wrestle an owlbear today.
Natural 20 for a 22.
Get it!
So Lowry, as you get close and you have is your hand extended like down, or is it like out?
like
Hands up.
towards the side, like not making me any bigger, so I'm not intimidating. Just like I'm a friend.
And you see the lot of you who are just like, oh god, like pulling skin down like Kevin McAllister style in Home Alone, just oh no, like sees Lowry getting close, and then this lumbering creature gets close to Lowry, and its large owline face is like right in front of you, Lowry, and you just see the rest of you just see it go boop.
Who's a
And it
big,
just puts
beautiful
its
baby?
forehead against you and just starts like and like
Oh,
kind of like
look.
rubbing its large owl head against you.
It's just a sweet baby.
And
second.
Lowry, as you are this close looking at like the harness and everything for this chariot, you can see very specifically with your knowledge of plants and other flora that engraved in this in the bow what looks to be a like large sprig of juniper.
Would juniper being carved into something ring a bell for anyone? It's right over. Oh, hi. It's right over there.
No, it's like it's on the bow that it's wearing.
Oh, the spring?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the travel
Yoke.
bow. Yeah, the yoke.
Gotcha.
That one.
Yoke. There we go. Now I know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Is your name Juniper? Is that a yes? I don't
It-
speak animal.
Puts its head against
That's she takes like that knockback, like when like a Great Dane like
Oh,
roars
yeah.
up on you. Everybody, meet Juniper.
Great. Glad it's friendly. Clout's gonna walk over to the chariot and look inside.
I'll follow.
Yeah, looking inside of this chariot, and Juniper seems very comfortable around people, thankfully, and the Campestri just, oh, you are going to paint a skull on it as well?
We'll see.
Excellent.
That might be a little more difficult because of the feathers.
I don't understand.
That's fine. We'll explain later.
And Clapperclaw's like, can you paint a skull on me? And it seems like the Campestri has been filling Clapperclaw's head with the idea of joining this death cap gang. He seems to like it quite a bit.
Clapperclaw's going through his rebellious teen years.
I don't know. Ask Pam.
Huh?
And as you were all looking at this chariot, looking at it, it looks like this is of elven make. Like it has like the flowing flourishes that would make you believe that this is like it's not like the more blocky brutalist style architecture of the dwarves. It's a lot nicer than you would expect any goblin or goblinoid to be able to make. And also the Harengon, I mean, they rode around on giant snails, and you also haven't seen any here, which is also good. So it would lead you to believe that maybe an elf once rode this. And getting a look at this cart, two of you could like easily stand on this and be pulled around by said owlbear, whose name is Juniper. You were correct.
Is there anything inside the cart?
No. If anything, there are like two depressions where you would expect that like this was my spot where I stood while I was in my cart. It's like the dad depressions in a couch where like the dad sits there every day. That is his spot.
Clout's gonna kind of, examine it the way that you do like a used car, and looks up at Pam and says, what do you think?
Pam, this is a lot of useful material that, like, if no one's gonna claim.
I mean, unless we find a way to pack us all on this vehicle, it's not enough for us all to use. We could tear it apart and use it for materials, or maybe like add a wagon to the backside of it. But this is all dependent on whether or not the acceleration point of the vehicle, the bear owl, if that can still drive.
Good point. Well, I don't know if Juniper's owner is going to be coming back. In fact, I'm kind of thinking that maybe that dragon snapped him up and took him away.
What if you learn how to speak to animals through the instrument real quick? Ask the bear what happened to its owner.
Do owlbears count?
I don't know.
Make a nature check.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Wings knows the answer to this, but Clout can't read. 14.
Owlbears you have encountered before. They are a well sought after accessory to most carnivals for their very odd nature and their ability to move things with bear-like strength. They are, however, considered monstrosities. They are not considered animals.
Yeah, don't think that would work. Owlbears aren't exactly animals.
But it looks a whole lot like an animal.
Yeah, you'd think, but
They're a totally different classification. And this one is 100% good bear. Aren't you, good bear?
that's adorable.
Lowry, see if you can get it to listen to commands from you.
Oh, do I see anything like reins or anything?
Yeah, I mean, like, it has like the full setup to be able to operate this as a cart. The reins are attached to some loops that are on the front end yoke that surrounds Juniper's like front chest area, and then connects that like is on a little rester at the end of the cart, which again, we look at it right up there.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what the commands would be, but I could try and lead it from here. Who's riding?
Come to think of it, Pam, actually that wasn't a bad idea. Clout's gonna get out the Gonna get out the folk lucan. He'll draw a bow across the strings, cast Speak with Animals, and then use thaumaturgy to make a really loud bird screech. That means, hey, come on down here. I want to have a talk.
Make an animal handling check.
What?
This entire
Clout?
time, Vice
I'm
just
s-
leans over to Lowry and Elvish. He just goes, "Try saying heal," and he says heal in Elvish.
And what? What'd you say?
Hellock.
It's friend.
Lowry doesn't speak Elvish.
No, repeat after him.
Oh,
He says heal in Elvish.
the heel in Elvish.
And Clout, what did you roll for your animal handling?
Can I get it at advantage because Speak with Animals?
Again, it's not an animal.
I'm talking to a bird, just a regular bird.
Oh, a regular bird. Okay.
A bird that may have seen what happened. I'm not trying to do it on the owlbear.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Sorry. No. Yeah. With that, that's fine. And like, there's like a rustle. And you wouldn't need to make animal handling. You would just see what looks like we'll say it's a Stellar's jay. That then sort of like flies by, hearing your screech, because if anyone has ever heard what a Stellar's jay sounds like, they're beautiful birds, but god damn it, do they sound like assholes. And they just land and just, greetings! Ah!
Oh, hey. You
You
see
right?
this Yeah, I did. You see this owlbear here?
Yes?
You see what happened to the person who was driving this thing?
Terrible. Terrible.
A terrible thing happened?
Yes. They were grabbed. Mostly
By-
put inside of a mouth.
By a dragon.
If that is what they are called, then yes.
That like a big green thing?
Yes. Large eyes.
Oh,
Eats many
okay.
things.
Cool. From the other's perspective, does it just look like they're making bird noises at each
Yeah.
other?
And again, just the Stellar's jay just like making like it sounds like the Stellar's jay sounds like a fucking bandsaw. Like they are not beautiful sounding birds at all.
I wanna say that like from Clout's perspective, just be like tweet.
And then it like
Yeah.
the bird chortles for the rest of you and then like goes back to speaking with Clout.
Did
I
you
need to learn how to do that.
so like did you see who was driving this thing? Like what did they
Yes.
what did they look like?
Fancy. Lots
Fancy.
of yes. They wore the metal.
Metal, like armor.
Like and they like motion with a wing. Metal like this metal one.
Clapperclaw.
If that is their name, yes.
Cool. All right.
They had ears that were pointed.
Long.
If that is what we will
Average.
call it.
Okay.
They had fair skin. Like the one with the gold spun hair.
Interesting. Did they have golden hair?
For moments. Until it was red.
Ooh. All right. Well, thanks, buddy. I think that's all I need. He'll reach into his pack and grab like a ration.
You have gifted me a boon this day.
Yep. Don't spend it all in one place.
What is your name?
Humbug.
Humbug. I will not forget what you have done for me. Should you seek further assistance, I will be here.
Cool. I won't be able to talk to you for the rest of the day, so later.
Then you just see the Stellar's jay just swoop down, grab the ration, chortle again, and then fly off.
Shit, I should ask their name.
So it looks like a transaction was made. Did the conversation go well?
Yeah, for the most part, just kind of confirmed what I already knew.
Bless
Elf,
you.
yeah, also bless you. An elf was driving this thing and got ate.
Does that mean there's like an elf city nearby?
Don't know. Probably should have asked that bird that too.
Well, judging from the quality of the vehicle, unless the person who owned it themselves is like an aficionado with this specific hobby, like there would have to be people to repair, people to buy feed from, like a town maybe.
Well,
You know,
There
that
is the loom lurch.
very sound logic that makes a lot of sense.
when
Which
we
means since it's the Feywild, it's probably not the case.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
we should find our way to Little Oak.
Well, we have a transportation speed up if we can manage to make this thing work out for us.
All right, Pam, let's see what you can do.
Is the vehicle broken in any way?
No?
Oh, actually, it looks like it's in perfect order. We just have to manage to convince the driving mechanism, the owlbear, to cooperate with us. And it sounds like Lowry's got a good handle on that.
All right. Well, I mean, there's only 2 spots for people here.
Well, you and Vice can ride on it, and me and Clapper are pretty small. We could just strap on like backpacks to the backside, and Lowry could ride the owlbear if they let it.
We could try that.
Sounds like a great idea.
Can't see this failing at all.
Oh, I can see it going horribly.
Fuck it.
All right, let's look around and find out.
All right. Juniper, I hope you're ready for this. Lowry's gonna try and climb up on the owl bear like it's a horse.
Yeah, you got a nat 20.
Okay.
If anything, it's just like the yoke makes it inconvenient for you to ride.
Like sags in the middle like a cat when you try and pet it for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everybody secured?
Uh,
Some hazard
Pamferdam will
hops.
start taking a rope and securing Clapper and themselves back, like just cargo style, to the backside of the chariot.
Sidecar.
Clapper will ask if you still have the nighttime bag.
yeah, it's right here. And
Pam will take off their backpack for a second and pull out the little glow object they made them.
Yeah.
here, you can hold on to this. This could be our brake lights.
Well, Pam, Clapperclaw was suggesting that if you have your bag of holding, they can climb in to reduce the amount of weight.
Ah, that would be a good idea if I didn't have to tear the bag of holding down to make your body.
I'm sorry, Papa.
That's all right. I think it was
Wait,
an
didn't we
improvement in
just-
the long run.
Didn't we get a bag of holding? Yeah. We got
We
one
just
from the
got
Magic
one.
Man.
Okay. Because I made a bag of holding at one point. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
from a
yeah.
bad one.
No, you right. You right. We did just get one.
Mhm.
Yeah, if we have a bag of holding now.
Yeah, so Clapperclaw will just ask that you keep his head outside of the bag and make sure not to lose it.
Yeah, I'll hold on to your head and we'll put you in piece by piece into the bag. It's a vacuum, so try not to breathe or open your eyes if you have them.
Okay.
Vice waits a moment, another moment as they're putting Clapperclaw away.
Oh, take Compatry off them.
There you go.
Reach back into the backpack and pull out the little mushy.
What a terrible place! It was so dark. It was so void.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh?
It
Sorry
reminded
about
me
that.
of being a spore
How long ago was that?
since the beginning of this plane.
Yeah, okay, he's gonna keep on saying that. He's gonna say that thing again.
But you can see, like, there are, like, visible bags underneath the Campestry's eyes now. Like, they looked into the void and the void looked back.
Right, well,
Void
since
said.
you're a type of creature that survives on oxygen, I'm gonna have to keep you outside the bag, but I could put you on the flap.
That is okay. Just don't put me in the bag again.
I'll peel the mossy bit off of the piece of the mech that it was on and just lay it on top of the backpack or the bag of holding once it's closed, and then let. I keep accidentally wanting to say the actual name of the mushroom. Their name is Campestro.
They have been calling themselves Campestri.
Okay, so they're just calling themselves their species name.
Yes.
Cool. But yep, I'll plop them on top of the backpack.
Okay. So, the cart begins to move forward when you give it commands in Elvish. It seems a little labored, but all things considered, Juniper seems okay with pulling you all.
Oh, I think we got it. You're probably gonna want to shout out left and right in Elvish.
I've got a handle on it.
No, you've got the reins.
Flowers.
Clout and Vice are elbow to elbow in this fucking chariot.
Clout, did he yell at my yoke?
What?
Did he yell at my yoke? Get it? Because I'm holding on to the yoke?
Oh, sorry. I thought this was
Pamferdam's
some
riding
sort of...
backwards and just watching the road, 50% flower growth and 50% just like overgrown plants.
I thought it was like an egg thing or something. I don't know. I went the wrong direction for that one.
Pamferdam,
I mean, it still could be if I crack you up.
How
directly into the
secure
camera.
is Lowry to the yoke?
She's just like, it's very much like Lowry is riding this owlbear like it were a horse with no saddle.
Mm-hmm.
Not very secure.
Lowry, are you enjoying riding the owlbear?
I mean, it's not the most comfortable.
Halt in Elvish.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, there's a snag in the road.
Warning next time. I know, Juniper. I know.
And
Leans
you
forward,
hear
gives scritches.
like a deep rumbling from inside of Juniper.
Who's a good sweet baby?
Clout's got his arms crossed and he's just not making any room for Vice. Like, if they were on an airplane right now, he would have
You'd
both...
be the dick with both the armrests.
Yep, he'd have both armrests.
Could you make a little bit of room, please? I know that
Okay.
you're both barrel of chested and thick of ass, but
He, like, moves a millimeter over.
perfect.
Okay, so continuing on with the help of Juniper, eventually as you're continuing through these woods, you know that you should be, based off of the directions that you'd been given, you know that you should be getting to the Wayward Pool. And as you are looking in front of you, off in the distance, you can see what looks to be a body of water. Like, it has that shimmer to it. And as you get closer, it's almost like the trees shift, like there's a heat shimmer, and then there's just regular pathway directly in front of you. But you look over to your right and you can see that the Wayward Pool is now off to your right.
Oh,
The
that's fake
fuck?
bullshit.
Oh, it moves.
Vice will steer the cart back towards the Wayward Pools.
Okay, steering back to it. It is in front of you again. And you see that heat shimmer once more. And now it is on your left-hand side,
Lake itself?
the lake itself.
Okay.
Pam, how you doing back there?
And Pam, like, looking down at the ground, the cart tracks, like, they don't stop and move. Like it looks like they are just continuously going.
Well, I'm rolling right back here. It doesn't seem like we're hitting a lot of bumps or anything. Why? Have we found it?
Well, yes. If you look off to your left, you will see the.
As Pam looks to his left, you realize that you're giving the wrong direction, so he
You're
just sees
right.
more trees.
If you look to your right.
Oh.
Yeah, and Clout.
Oh, okay, we're here.
Yeah, Pam, off in the distance, you see there's a lake.
Should we stop then?
Guess.
What do you think the shimmer is?
May I use my Arcana brain to know anything about this strange shimmer?
Yeah.
Arcana
Can
brain,
I-
activate.
Can I assist him with my experience working at the Witchlight Carnival?
Sure.
18.
An 18. Pam, you went to magic school to be an artificer. You had to learn the basics about the schools of magic. This definitely seems like some illusory bullshit is going on right now. Like, it's either the lake is not in any of these places, or there is something about the lake that is preventing you from approaching.
Well, it kind of seems like we're in a field of magic right now. I can't tell whether or not the lake is the source of the magic or just like the area we're in. But there's some sort of illusion effect happening in the area.
Any ideas?
Does anyone know how to dispel magic?
I don't think that's one of the spells I get.
Is the lake only moving when we're not looking at it? What if we all look away for a second, then look back?
We could all try going in different directions all at once.
Sure.
Are we stopped or still moving?
Stopped, I think.
Yeah.
I think I said
Great.
halt at some point.
Pam will then unbuckle their self-made seatbelt and fall down onto the dirt.
Alright, I guess I'll walk towards the tracks we've made.
I'll take the left.
Walk away from the lake.
Okay.
I'll go right for it.
Sounds good.
Break.
Lowry
Clout-
will take Juniper with her.
Clout's gonna cast Fly on himself
Sure.
using the Folklore.
Yeah, so Lowry, you head left. Pam, you head right. Vice, you walk away. And Clout, dun 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 dun. Or I guess it's a string instrument, so you do that. It requires a bow. And you begin flying directly towards it. You're all going in your different directions. Vice, you're walking along. And Clout, as you're flying, you see that shimmery effect.
Mm-hmm.
And Vice, as you are walking along, you see, like, looking around you, there is like a mask layer effect where, like, you look at a tree and then just from behind that same tree, you just see, like, Clout flying forward.
Vice like just looks over. Hey, asshole, wrong way.
What? What do you mean wrong way? It just disappeared.
Well, you're heading my way.
And Clout, looking behind you, you can see very clearly the lake.
Huh. So the lake isn't moving, it's just moving us.
What if we tried walking backwards toward the lake?
Work.
Oh, maybe it's like the time that I had to talk to the grass. Hang
Oh,
on.
like asking for permission?
Yeah. Hello, Lake. We're here to help. Can we please come see you?
And Lowry, make a persuasion check.
Well,
Persuade the
bullshit.
lake.
Sweeten the deal for the lake.
19.
A 19. So with a 19, you hear, "No! Because you're stinky! And probably wear your pants too tight!" And you hear what sounds like some laughter.
I don't wear my pants too tight. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did anyone else hear that, or was
Your
that just in my
hat
head?
is silly!
Well, that's rude.
No,
Do we
it's
hear this, or is
observant.
this just in Lowry's head?
It's allowed.
Well, you got somebody to answer.
We have soap if you're still concerned about stench.
I don't need soap!
I was talking about us.
I clean myself on a pretty regular basis.
And depending on who's talking to us, I could loosen my pants a bit.
What?
Sorry, you couldn't stop laughing while you said it.
There's a lot of flowers growing in this area all of a sudden.
Okay. Well, what if, do you like music?
There's a pause. That depends!
If you allow us to come visit you, we have two very accomplished musicians with us.
Play something for me right now! So I know that you're not lying! I don't like duty-faced liars!
Clout glares down at you.
What'd I do? What? It's true.
He's gonna pull out his viol and
I'll play the song for Whisper. That's a good one.
Play something funny!
I play something. I play Shave and a Haircut.
You don't want to play Swan Lake? Moon River?
This isn't
Performance,
funny.
right? I got an 8. Dun 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 dun. Right, Bert.
And you can hear chuckling from the treetops, and it sounds like there are several voices chuckling and snickering now.
Damn it.
You know how you, say nice things and it gives the rest of us courage? Maybe next time you should do that for yourself.
You know what? Forgot about that.
You're really good at this!
Vice got a 24, and he's playing "Hoist Up That Thing" by the Longest Johns.
Okay. And as you play this, you hear what sounds like laughter. Specifically, it sounds like children's laughter. As you then hear a and then you see what looks like a young dwarf whose beard is in the process of growing out some stubble fall from a tree branch and then land on the ground. And as they fall upon the ground, you hear a young feminine voice just, "Oh, nice going, Bobby!" And you see that there are a group of kids that then begin to descend from the tree. One of them you see as this young dwarf who's in the process of growing out their first whiskers. You see a ginger-haired female wood elf who looks like she's no older than 12. Then there is a young girl who looks like she got her growth spurt a lot earlier than the others. As you recognize this as a young orc. And then what you see is a dark-skinned young boy who seems to float down from the top branch, who has a large head of hair that the lot of you immediately recognize as Will of the Wild. And Will is like holding his gut and pointing at Bobby and just laughing, and Bobby is laughing as well from having fallen out of the tree, and these kids seem like they are having a great time having listened to a terrible song and then a terrible song.
I think we just found the Getaway Gang.
I think so too.
And Will, hands on his stomach, just what's the thing?
Is it-
Hello, travelers. You have transgressed upon these woods, my woods. What say you?
Oh, not much other than that we were actually looking for you.
And
Yeah, you actually kind of made it easier.
his eyes narrow. When you say you were looking for me, you don't smell like the old bag. So
No,
I'm
in fact,
guessing
we have a common enemy. Clout swoops down.
Body odor.
and the kids kind of like snicker and snort. And the young ginger-haired elf just, oh, we're familiar with that one, and like looks towards Bobby, and Bobby like raises his arm, smells his pit, and just like, ugh, like it's even strong for him.
Bless all of you.
Well, you found me. And what do you plan to do? Do you plan on chasing me? I'll have you know I know these woods like the back of my hands.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we're kind of tired.
I mean, you don't have to. It's more fun if you do.
Could we like?
That's why we're the Getaway Gang, is that you chase us and then like we're always like
Could we like have a meal first before we, do the cat and mouse thing?
Yeah, aren't you supposed to
Yeah.
like do something that you're getting away with first?
We didn't say no to chasing
All you're
you.
like,
We're just a little
I
tired.
woke up and my back hurts. Oh,
Hey,
I put my
listen.
shoe on wrong and now I can't listen anymore. Like,
I
feel
sneezed
attacked.
wrong the last time, and my back's been hurting ever since.
and the Will just, fine. If you really need to rest and get food. Again, you don't smell like the old bag. I'm getting a little faint whiff up my nose holes. One of you smells like old bag, and it's not Bobby. And Bobby just goes, I smell like old nickels.
What? Why?
Right. Well, if you would like to have dinner with us, you're more than welcome to.
That depends. Do y'all like macaroni and cheese?
Only if you put hot dogs in it.
Done.
Haven't had a good macaroni pie in so long.
Really?
I haven't been really settled down in a long time, so. Anyway,
Kids got hot sauce?
Do we have hot sauce? What do we look like? Kids?
Children?
Children.
Oh, well. Prepare to have your expectations. The thing that happens when they aren't met. But like in a good way.
Great.
Keep
Hey,
it up, you're
Whisper.
doing great.
Come on. And then the other kids will sort of like stand up, and you see that like they're pretty quick on their step. They seem to, like Will said, they seem to know these woods. And they lead you for roughly about a mile. And after that mile or so, you end up seeing what looks like a tall and knotted tree. Let me see here. Up ahead, you see that there is a small group of children that are frolicking around a leafy oak tree, their gleeful yelps carrying through the forest. Painted swings dangle from the tree's branches, and nestled in its crown is a ramshackle treehouse. And this tree that sort of like leans over, almost like it's somebody who's at their desk all day and forgets to check their posture. You can see that on their face there are two glowing greenish eyes and what looks like just kind of like a happy smile on this tree's face as well. As Will rushes forward, turns around, extends his hands, and says, "Welcome to Little Oak!" And as he says this, we'll show you the picture.
Oh, look at that thing.
Wait,
Aw.
is that a kitten?
And Vice,
Pay no mind to the cat in the photo.
as you say this, you hear a "Prow, prow," as what looks like a young cat who is still trying to learn how to operate all 6 of its legs and not trip over the 2 tendrils on its back comes slinking out and running towards Will. And Will picks it up and like gives it a big hug. Clout, you recognize this cat almost immediately. This is a very, very interesting cat indeed, as this little creature is known by no other name than
Remember at the carnival?
Star. And Star
Star.
is Dear Laground's offspring
Yeah.
that went missing a while back.
I think Clout literally yells, "Star?"
And Will like picks up this like 6-legged kitty and just, "Have you been out making friends?" And Star just like from like you're like 20 feet 30 feet away and you can hear just like how deep and vocal this cat's purr is.
Is this where you've been all this time?
I don't know what you mean by where Star has been all of this time. Clearly, they are here and home and having a great time. I found them. I've been raising them ever since they were a little cat, and they're mine now.
Well, they've been lost for a long time, actually. Dear Leground's been looking for them for a long time.
1, I don't know who that is. 2, aren't we all a little lost? And one of the other kids is like, yeah, I'm lost. I have no idea where I am.
Me too, kid. Me too.
So, you old folks said that you were hungry and needed a rest. So come on up to the treehouse, and I'll make us some macaroni and hot dogs.
Vice is going to head over to Juniper, unyoke them, and in Elvis just say, go on and hunt, but be back here in a few hours.
Juniper just heads off into the trees.
Oh, no children!
Just send the owlbear off to kill people?
Well, I doubt that owlbears eat macaroni and cheese. And I don't have enough rations to feed a fully grown owlbear.
Fish gotta swim. Owlbear's
You know,
gotta
there's
eat.
like
Among-
fauna out here too, right?
Among the 4 of you, you would realize that Juniper requires at least 8 pounds of meat a day.
I'm
Just
sure she
heading
can handle
them off
herself.
To eat while we go do this is fine.
Right, but like, why don't you tell it to attack animals and not people?
I assume she knows what's good or bad to hunt.
Well, they do. It doesn't. Confused by your children order.
And you've seen that, like, there is a ring-a-ding-ding of a dinner bell.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
That you can see is like a big triangle that Will is just like like just fucking like ring, like it's fucking like it's not like once or twice. He's doing it furiously, and the rest of the kids are like running up.
All right.
Free food.
Free food and a whole lot of kids.
Pam scrambles up the tree.
All right. So yeah, there's a like it looks like there's a leveled. I think it looks like there's like the tree has like kind of like slouched itself so that way you can walk up it and then into the tree house. And there's like a happy grumble from this tree that sort of gives you like a solid nod as you approach. And then when you are inside of this tree house, you can see that there's a long table that's been set up. There are a bunch of bowls and plates. There's like there's a sink that's just piled high with like dirty dishes. And there is a large pot that is bubbling of what looks like noodles and then some like you're hoping cheese.
There is a click in Vice's brain. He sighs, takes his coat off, hangs it on a tree branch, begins to roll his sleeves up, and goes at the
When you
dirty
go to
dishes.
wash the dishes, Clout is already there.
I'll try.
Pamferdam's chilling at the fucking dinner table with the kids.
Yeah. And when like you arrive, Vice, because you had been the one, had you been the one who asked for hot sauce? Was that Clout?
That was
That
Clout.
was Clout.
Clout? Okay. So Clout, as you approach, eventually you hear what sounds like a like the shutting of a door, and like some rattling of bottles, and then you have a like small jar that's put in front of you, and you can see that it has what looks like a skull with some like an X behind it.
Hell yeah.
And he says, "Told you we have hot sauce. We're not just kids here, you know."
I'll be the judge of that. Pops it open, sticks his finger in, gives
Yeah.
it a taste.
It is, so it's not necessarily a sauce. It's like a jam,
Uh-huh.
but it is the equivalent of like a habanero jam.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you taste it, it's sweet, but the sweet tanginess of the jam actually complements the spice of it. Almost like they mixed a good berry to mix with this. Habanero would be like a Marionberry.
All right. I think that he gives like a sort of a appreciative nod, like, all right.
Zenner super spicy sauce.
Who's Zenner?
And when you say that, the very tall young orca girl just like,
He like tips it to her, like, nice.
"Thank you." And you can see like one of her tusks is bigger than the other one.
Oh, baby.
Clout's just gonna toss the sauce up in the air to Whisper.
And Whisper, you just see like thump, like into the container. And then Whisper, like, there's like, it's like when you see a dog who's like put their whole snoot in the jar of peanut butter and they're like trying to get it off after they've had their fill. And Whisper, or like, what is it? Like the old videos when you would show people like putting like a slice of American cheese on a cat's head. And it's just sort of like recoiling, like doesn't know how to get out of this scenario.
He'll figure himself out.
You see Whisper's color changes from like that lightish blue to like a lighter red, and then red, and like what looks like steam coming off of Whispers. They're like trying desperately until eventually it comes off, and then they just shoot over to a water bin and just submerge themselves. And you see
Incredible. Directly into the dishes that were washed.
oh, for sure. But yeah, upon being served, in what you're guessing is the first time that these kids have had clean bowls in a while, this macaroni and cheese with, they don't really know what hot dogs are, but they had some short links, so they're kind of hoping that things go according to plan on that one. And everyone is served these bowls of macaroni, cheese, and short link.
It's not
This-
quite macaroni and cheese with hot dog. It's like kielbasa.
Yeah.
Mhm. This is wonderful. Thank you.
I've perfected my recipe over the years, says
I
Will,
consider
very
you quite the
matter-of-factly.
connoisseur.
Well, you just so happened that you caught us on Macaroni Day.
Looks at the pot of food. How often is it macaroni day?
You're guessing it's Macaroni Day at least
Every
5 nights a
day.
week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're very lucky indeed.
You have a really cool fort here too.
Thank you. I built it myself with Little Oak's help. And then the others are just like, no, we helped too. And he's like, everyone helped. This is the Getaway Gang's secret hideout. And you adults should consider yourself lucky that you're even allowed here, because we don't let everybody come into our base. But you seem like you're good at playing funny songs, and I like that. So
Ecological adults.
welcome. I especially liked his song. It was really funny. And Will point to Clout.
I'm not a musician.
I know. That's why it was really funny.
He'll give a appreciative chortle and hide his hurt feelings.
Like
So-
John Mulaney once said, these children have a straight targeting system to your insecurities, and they are playing off of them.
No, that's what I'm sensitive about.
So how long have you had your tree fort? A while?
A while. I don't know.
It's very nice. You wouldn't happen to see any unicorns nearby, have you?
Oh, yeah. No, sometimes we play tag.
Really?
They're really good at it. Because they can, like, you know, like, they go, like, bang, and stuff. Like, sometimes you meet somebody and they can be like, bang. Like, sometimes
'Cause-
they're there and then they, like, go to another place, like, really quick.
That is incredibly cool.
I'm learning how to do it. The unicorn said that they would teach me. And then, like, one of the other
Very-
kids is like, nuh-uh. They didn't. It just, yeah, they did. You just weren't there. And they said that they were going to teach me how to do it.
That's pretty cool.
That's how I was able to get away from Skabatha.
You
You are
managed to escape from Skabatha?
Yeah, that's why they call us the Getaway Gang.
Do you think you could introduce us to the unicorns? You see, there's another very cool tree, very similar to yours, that some pixies live in, but it's very sick.
Oh,
So,
grandfather?
yeah. Did you know it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
We were looking for the
It's,
unicorns
like,
to see if there was
really
anything.
sick. Like, I heard him
Yeah.
cough once, and, like, when he did, like, a bunch of leaves came out of his mouth. It was weird.
Yep. So we were hoping that the unicorns might be able to help with their magic.
I don't think so.
No?
No. Mm-mm.
What
Why
makes
is
you say
that?
that?
Well, unicorns, like, they can be helpful and stuff. But from what I was talking, because there's, like, a little old lady who lives there. She said her name is, like, Greta or something. I don't remember her name. She said that the only way to cure it was to get rid of Skabatha, and I think that she's right.
And
That-
Greta lives with the unicorns.
No, Greta was the old lady who had like the really thick glasses who like lived in the big tree.
Oh, the pixie lady.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep,
And you
you
see
met
he's
her.
like kind of like picking his nose as he talks to you.
Speaking
Well-
of, we did have plans to prank and or heck over Scapatha while we were around. If you wanted to help us out with that, we
I
had a
could
couple of cool pranks
be-
planned actually.
What kind of pranks? And you see that he's a little more like.
You ever heard of a
Well.
meet cute?
No, but it sounds icky. I'm not cute. I'm like really strong and stuff.
Very rugged.
That one, yes. I'm rugged Will of the wild.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we've got like sneezing powders, and we've got like gossip journals, and we got like a painting we're thinking about stealing. We're
Stealing's
still kinda,
fun.
like,
Stealing's a
throwing
good
spaghetti
prank.
Still, you know.
Stealing's a really good prank, especially from Scapatha, because she's
Yeah.
not. She's nice. She's big mean lady.
That's what we've gathered so far, and we're pretty big fans of being goofy to big mean ladies.
Before we divulge any more information, we need everyone here to promise not to say a word.
And almost in unison, all the kids like put 2 fingers next to their mouth and zip, and then like one of them like turns an imaginary key and then like swallows the key.
Wait, but how do you do that if your mouth is zipped?
Magic. It's the magic of the secret.
A wizard did it.
Hmm.
Okay, so you want to prank Scapatha, and I want to prank Scapatha too. And it sounds like maybe our pranks kind of coincide. I don't know. You guys want to like steal some stuff, and I want to prank her by freeing all the kids that are enslaved in her camp.
I'm a pretty big fan of that prank, actually.
It's a
I'm
good
on board
prank.
with that one.
Like then she wouldn't have anybody to make that shitty candy. And then one of the other kids just
Bad word.
huh?
Bad word.
And Will like rolls his eyes, and you see he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a silver piece, and he walks over to a jar and puts it in.
They have a swear jar.
Comes over and he sits back down.
Love these kids.
And Star hops up onto his lap, and he's just like giving big scritchies while like imagine if 4 paws could be making biskies simultaneously.
Baby.
Star looks pretty happy here, huh?
Star looks happy, but you know somebody who is not happy while Star is away.
Yep.
Tell us more about your prank. That sounds pretty interesting.
So my prank is that, well, basically, go in like the time when like Scapatha would be like sleeping, and then we go in and we free everybody. And that's kind of the prank, because there's the toy kids, and then there's the candy kids, and then and he sort of gets like a more far away look. And then he says, and then there's the kids under the stairs. But if we get all of them out, it's a good prank. Because then she's going to have to like, oh man, let's scrabble for more workers. And then all those kids, they can like hang out with us at the Getaway Gang. And then we can all like never be caught by adults or Scapatha.
That's interesting. How do you plan on getting into the place? I know you all have skills escaping, but
As it so happens, I may have been there a few times.
a few times, you say? So I'm assuming you know an easy way in and out?
I know a couple ways.
Well,
Whether
that's
they're
really
easy,
cool.
it depends. Are you a nerd?
Well, so in my culture, that's actually a pretty cool thing to be. So yeah, I'm a nerd.
Sorry.
I mean, I make toys and weapons of mass destruction on accident sometimes. So yeah.
Are those like used for like really good pranks?
Well, sometimes I made a scorpion that squirts in Vice's face once.
Good prank. And he like puts his hand
Yeah.
up.
Vice has the vial out, plucks a string, and then like.
And a bunch of these kids just like trying their best to keep their mouths shut.
Yeah, listen
Yeah,
to
I
me.
used to be really good at making toys.
Look at me. Do I look like a guy who jokes around? Pam's the fucking prank master.
And they all point to the jar.
You're gonna have to put a silver
You
piece
made
in
a
their jar now.
swear.
Well
Come to
spent.
my secret fort. You play by my secret rules.
Well spent. He fucking just flings it into the jar.
Do you want to prepay the ones that you're gonna say for the rest of the night?
Puts 9 more silver pieces in the jar.
And the kids like big eyes.
These poor kids.
And Will again says, well, if you want to meet the unicorn, we can maybe figure out a good time for you guys to meet them. But like they're asleep right now, probably. So if you wanted to do it tomorrow, I show you how.
Yeah, we could like hang out and stuff until then. Like play games or something until unicorns are ready to hang out.
But if we do, then you guys got to do one thing for us.
And what is that?
And like you've already like cleaned the kitchen, and Will, you can see like looks over and just like he was planning on like asking you to clean house, and you've done it anyways. And he says, folds his arms and he says, "Reciprocity."
Reciprocity?
That one.
It's a big one.
Technicals.
If we show you how to get to the Unicorn Lake,
Mm-hmm.
then you guys, and you, because you already put money in the jar, so I think that you're the right pick for this. And he points towards Clout. You have to tell us a bedtime story that we haven't heard before.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Wait, who from who?
and Will, you just hear, and he spits into his, like, just spits a loogie into his hand, and then he extends it out towards you, Clout.
He like stands up and looks like he's about to say no. And then he hawks a loogie into his own hand and grabs it. Will's.
There is a sound as like the two loogies collide.
You got yourself a fucking deal.
And like all the kids just like, wow, this guy's the coolest, he swears. like they are like enamored.
These are the only people who will think he's cool.
Me at family gatherings.
Yeah, games on your phone.
So, as dinner comes to an end, and all of the macaroni and short links have been consumed, and dishes have been cleaned and put away, Will puts his hands up and claps and says, "All right, gang, it's night-night," which means, and a group of eager kids all turn their heads and look directly at Clout. That means it's time for a bedtime story. and you see like one by one, like the kids like find like the comfy corner of the room. Another one like lays on the table. Another is like laid underneath a set of chairs, and they're all sort of like making a comfy spot, except for you can see that in a corner lying on a cushion is what looks like a rusty oil can that has like a little sleepy face on it, and it's not like drawn on this oil can. Like the metal is like shaped and morphed to just, and every once in a while you swear that you hear it go me 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 me.
That's adorable. I think Clout kind of plays it cool. He sticks his hands in his pockets and sort of like strolls into the middle of the room. And then he's going to pull his vitrified eye out and just sort of like toss it into the air and start contact juggling as he's talking. And he's going to like make it sound like he's making up the story on the spot. He's going to be like, once upon a time, there was a star.
And Whisper like shoots up.
Yeah, like swing. And he starts telling a story about a star in the sky that lived in the sky and was happy because it sat next to a bigger star that was its parent or whatever. And he basically just tells a story about how this star fell down from the sky and found some friendly mushrooms that grew on a tree. And they were friends and they were happy. But the big star in the sky was always sad. And then he just like, he stops and he doesn't say anything else.
Check.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I mean,
I'm
better
gonna
than the story
inspire
Pam would've
myself.
given.
I'm going to inspire myself.
Okay.
That was a 16 plus, I believe it's still a D6.
Yep.
So that bumps it up to an 18. So he stops talking right after he said that the big star was always sad.
Okay. So what was your total?
18.
18?
No, 19.
19.
God, math.
So from the collected group of kids that had all tucked in to hear your story, Clout, you hear a auspicious wave, a sizable, palpable amount of groans and boos and jeers as these kids just begin throwing their pillows and stuffies at you. And Clout, as you are being pelted by these kids' night gear, that is where we are going to call it for tonight's
I'm not done yet.
session.
I'm not done.
Boo!
He like literally Clout says, hey, did I say the story was over?
Where are the swears?
Yeah, make more swears.
He'd sprinkle
Pam
them
throws a
in throughout
pillow.
the story.
Swears,
Just throws a pillow at
swears, yay! I want to hear the swears.
He's gonna like get down really low to the ground and start talking really quietly so that like everybody has to get quiet if they want to hear him. And he says, that's just the thing about this story, you see, because it's not over yet. And that's a real fun thing about stories, right? Because you don't get to find out until it's over. So why don't you all tell me how the story ends? And he's going to look at Star.
And you can see that Star is purring. They're happy. But you can see the like little bit of like wetties in the corner of their displacer beast eyes as they understand this story. And one of the kids you're assuming Will at this point cries cop out as you say that it's up to the kids to finish the story that you promised them. And that is where we will end tonight's session. But with that, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us for this wonderful session of Dungeons and or Dragons. We have finally met the Getaway Gang. We adopted like 2 more NPCs into our group and met a bunch of kids. We're having a great time, but I always have a great time whenever these folks are on the channel. Hey, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ, and you can catch me at RJS22 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things of my life and sometimes stream with my friends. Of course, you can catch me here on Sundays and Mondays. Sundays here in our Beyond the Witchlight campaign. Mondays in our Homebrew campaign. Same place, same time. Thursdays over at GGK, where we're doing Elegant Creatures, a hack of Urban Shadows and Good Society. It's a blast. I turned myself into a bomb, as one does. Again, where are we now? Saturdays over at GGK once again, where we're starting Pathfinder 2nd Edition, where we're also carny folk. It's gonna be great. I play bonus stage Rob's brother. He's there too. Catch it. It'll be funny, I swear. Also, on Sunday mornings, you can catch me over at the TheHypeGoblin's channel, where we're doing a 5e homebrew campaign, and I play a medic who's just very tired. There's just so much. People get hurt all the DanaeKeener.com.
I don't know what you're talking about. We have been very, very safe in that campaign thus far for this story arc. Hey everybody, I am Sarah. You can find me all over the internet as the TheHypeGoblin, playing TTRPGs with my friends, playing video games, doing cosplay stuff, and giving advice over on the YouTubes. But more importantly, I want to talk about Mercy Road, a charity project benefiting Child's Play that is being put on by our wonderful friend Saucefire of Saucefire TV over here on Twitch. Every year he runs a 24-hour D&D stream where he DMs for 24 hours. And it's starting April 9th at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. I will be in that game along with some very wonderful folks. We have someone from Child's Play playing with us. We have some wonderful writers that are playing with us as well, who have written many wonderful things for Wizards of the Coast and for other TTRPG publishing
You also have a Wizards employee playing with you as well.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Jealous.
It's going to be a really great time. Sauce is a wonderful friend. Last year, we raised nearly $6,000 for Child's Play charity. We're looking to raise 6,001. You can find all that over on Saucefire's Twitter. Everything is linked there. Feel free to @ me if you cannot find it on Twitter or on Discord, either in my server or in Indoors. I will be happy to get you the information so you can come raise funds for a wonderful charity with us. I'm tired. Words are hard. DanaeKeener.com.
Words am hard. Me, Mediaflare, do stream and voice words. Can find me in Twitbox or place what Twitches. And look forward to show what happens soon in future. DanaeKeener.com.
Speaking of DanaeKeener.com, hi everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter. I've got a pinned tweet there that says all the streams that I'm involved in, so you can go and check that out, DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday, and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. As RJ said, 5:30 p.m. PST across the board. We worked so hard to get back to regular scheduling, and by gum, we're going to be keeping it. But if this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, If you go to patreon.com/indoor adventure, that's right, patreon.com/indoor adventures, you can check up our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. As you've noticed, I've been posting the link to our Discord in the side chat, and it's also available down below. That's because you can join us on Discord, join our Questions for the Courts chat, post questions to myself or any of these other fine folk, and we will do our best to respond in kind. The reason that it's on Patreon is just that it's being hosted there, but again, it's all public facing. You don't need to be a subscriber in order to actually go. But if you do decide to join us on Patreon, a little bit goes a long way, and it helps pay the bills for all of the software and everything else that we use on this channel. So consider that. But for now, we are going to be going into that after show. So I'd like to again once say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.